Hello, Rodney. This is Anna Cavinato, and I am actually experimenting with a new way to provide feedback to homework using audio in addition to a PDF file. So I would appreciate hearing from you whether this is a more effective way to get feedback from your homework. Anyway, this is in regards to your last assignment that deals with chromatography. So let's just go question by question and let's see what you did right and what other suggestions are there for improvement. For the first question that dealt with the behavior of ideal and non-ideal behavior of chromatography peaks. So your answers are actually correct. In this case, the ideal relationship between the concentration of an analyte between the stationary phase and the mobile phase is a straight line, and in a non-ideal situation this would depart and would either go flat this way or would go up the other way. And you do have a graph on the next page. I guess your graph kind of has an edge right here. It would be more like a smooth transition as I drew in the graph up here. It would be more like this. So this would actually be a situation of peak tailing. So your answer down here is not completely clear. What you're saying is that there would be like a jaggedy, more jagged type of peak. That's not really the case. It's rather than you would have a situation as this described in figure 1214 in the textbook, where there would actually be some tailing instead of having a perfectly Gaussian curve. So it is true that the peaks would not be totally separated, but it's just a little bit of a clarification there. But you do have that concept pretty clear. Moving on to the next one, where you were going to calculate retention times and retention factors. Those are all correct, so I gave you full points. In number 3, and if you see these little boxes, you can just click and see my comments. I think you just used the wrong number there. The width of peak B was actually 0.54. You used a 0.50, so the calculations is incorrect. The number of theoretical peaks was actually 3.1 times 10 to the fifth, but it's just a minor thing. And then right here, because the number of plates was incorrectly calculated, that the numerical value for the plate height was also incorrect, but the setup of the problem was right. Moving on to, and then for 3C, the resolution would indeed increase with the number of theoretical plates, but remember that it will increase by the square root of n and not just directly with the number of theoretical plates. For question number 4, this dealt with how you would increase or improve a chromatographic separation. So answers in relation to selectivity and efficiency are correct, but the first answer over here, where you're talking about the sensitivity of the detector, the detector is really beyond the actual chromatographic separation. The question dealt with the parameters that would improve the chromatographic separation. So in that case, you should have mentioned the KB, or the retention factor. So if you increase the retention factor, then you can increase indeed or improve the separation, and you can increase the retention factor in gas chromatography by decreasing the temperature of the oven, or in liquid chromatography by using a mobile phase that is perhaps a little bit weaker, and it will allow to retain the analyte on the column a little bit longer. So then moving on to the next set of problem, number one was correctly done. And then for number two, I actually asked you to, so I should say that the retention times are correctly calculated. But as far as the resolution, the resolution for AB and BC in the first attempt they are correct, but you did not use equation 1219. So the idea was to compare the two equations, the 12.1 and the 12.19, and you should actually have had the same result. The equation 12.19 is a little bit more involved because it includes terms as the square root of n, alpha, and kb. In conclusion, though, your homework was well done. So you received, I think, 42 out of 51. So if I can scroll up, you received 42 out of 51 points. Again, this is a new attempt for me to provide feedback, and I would really appreciate if you would let me know if this works okay for you. Thank you.